Good morning. It's Lemmy Does Cooking, episode 7. Morning, Lemmy. Ooh. Hey, Lemmy, I'm wearing a corset today. No, don't get excited. It's a corset for back pain. My friend sent it to me from SoCal. It's doing the job, along with the painkillers. 1 week later, after doing my backing in the car. And today, we're in bright sunlight on that side. I have to move my eggs. I'm actually on 4K because I'm on the GoPro. I found some sticky putty to hold it on my tripod. So we're in 4K GoPro smooth vision rather than the old Sony camera. We'll see how it goes. And today, for the new GoPro video, I'm going to do a cross between a Denver omelette, which is obviously an omelette with bell peppers, onions and ham and cheese, cross with I'm going to mix it up and do a bit of a Eggs Benedict version. So it's going to have poached eggs rather than omelette, and it's going to have on toast. No hollandaise sauce though, we're just going to have cheese on top. So it's a bit of a Frankenstein's one. So here's the ingredients. I need to get an onion out in a minute. Got my eggs, got my cooking bacon, doesn't have to be posh. Slices of Marsdama, which is Polish version of Dutch cheese because it's cheaper. They also do a version of Gouda called something. Bell peppers, my toast. I've got Andy's big frying pan, as you can see, and my poaching pan in the background for just doing the simple poaching. And this put it into swirling water with vinegars for me. Far too much hassle. And I'm not drinking today any cocktails. I've just got a snakebite, which is in this case a Champion bitter with cider rather than lager. And jolly nice it is too. Right, I'll start prepping, cutting these into 1 centimetre pieces, those into 1 centimetre pieces, my onion that's down there at the moment into 1 centimetre pieces, and then I'll start frying them. Once they're all fried together, I'll go from there. Toodles! Oh, say bye-bye, Lemmy. Sausages. He's got a gravelly voice as old Lemmy. Oh, yeah. Good. Back soon. Right, prep is done. You can see I've got my... Let's get in there closer with the tripod. Matron. Obviously I've got my onions and my diced peppers. They won't take as long to cook as those, so we'll do those second. And also over here I've cut my cooking bacon up into chunks as well. Now, Lemmy's top tip. Lemmy's top tip. Never cut your bacon on the same cutting board as your veg or whatever else, because otherwise you'll get a bad tummy, and you don't want a bad tummy on the tour bus, do you? Not that it's got 2 toilets, one for Lemmy and one for the rest of them, because that could be nasty. Yeah, so I was doing a different cutting board, although technically this should be used for vegetables because it's green. There's a red one for meat, but we don't have one. I think there's a yellow one as well, or a blue, but I'm not quite sure what they're for, if it's not meat or veg. Maybe. Alrighty, let's get to cooking. First of all, we want the bacon quite crispy. Oh! Now, it's got quite a lot of fat in it, but at the start it's going to splutter a bit, so I do need a bit of the finest Ukrainian sunflower oil. Got that past Mr. Vladimir Putin's nose just the other day. Well done, the Ukrainian Navy. Ooh. What we want is gas mark 6. Oh. Now you see, I cleaned this earlier. I've not got it right on, so there we go. Cool, let's get going. We'll do the bacon first. We want it slightly crispy. It'll take the longest to do. In we go. This is going to produce quite a lot of fat, so before I cook the other stuff I'm going to tip some off. Because we don't want it unhealthy, do we, Lemmy? Oh! They did say that was me. Are you all happy? Don't want to get too close together. Social distancing for bacon. Look at that bit there. I'll get it with my pronger. God, it's like a jellyfish. That'll go down well. The reason why I got this pronger thing is that, as you can see, at the top, the knob's fallen off my poaching pan, so I can't actually get the lid off. And I see actually sort of like go like that and try and force it off, and even that's not very good. I might get something better actually. I need a small screwdriver. Ooh, sizzling. Yeah, here we go. I bet you haven't seen Jamie Oliver use one of these. I like to use one of these on Jamie Oliver actually. So what you do is you just put it in there and then you can lift it up. Off it comes. I decided to use a crosshead, or is it a Phillips, rather than a flat blade. And what's the difference between a crosshead and a Phillips screwdriver? Well, there's a very interesting story about this to do with the Canadian inventor and marketing. You can look online, Google it. It's fascinating 20 minutes of your life. Good. Right, we'll just turn that down a bit. Oh, smells fantastic. Ooh, yes. Turn it up a bit. Unfortunately, when the wind blows in from the door, I've got the door open at the moment, which is actually making Lemmy flutter in the breeze like a flag. Do you like it up here? A bit of wind up here? He says yes. Actually, he starts to smell of chip pan fat. I might have to give him a bit of a bath later. It actually in the bath with some rose petals and candles because I love him so much, rather than the washing machine because that'll make him fade. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get in the bath later. I'll just give you a cuddle with the rose petals on it and scented candles. Oh man, yeah, we're going to have to wait for that. We've got cooking to do in the meantime. Oh, it smells good. Anyway, what was I saying? A bit of the wind, yeah, the wind comes in and it blows out my gas. Rather than me blowing gas out, it blows out my gas. Oh, it's one of those days. I blame that... Ooh, look at the plant going. It's getting all excited with my cooking. I blame the beer. I've not even drunk any yet, apart from a couple of glasses. Let's get back to the cooking. How's it doing? Ooh, like an octopus. I like this GoPro. It doesn't do very good in close stuff though. My Sony camera will get that into focus. It's alright, it's a nice wide lens. These are a bit too big. Ah, sore. I might be sore arse later. Yeah, looking good. Now, should I tip some of the fat off or just make it all horribly greasy? Oh, I really should. I could use a bit of toilet paper just to sop some up. Not the toilet paper out of the toilet, obviously, but we have some on the side because we've run out of kitchen paper. Yeah. No, let's let it roll. As Oasis once a time, on one of their greatest hits. I wanna roll with it, with my suit. You gotta roll with it with your suit. You gotta roll with it with your suit. Yeah. Right, it's the onions. Oh, you ought to smell this. Looking good. Now obviously when you're cooking onions, you do it at high heat, they caramelise and they go brown and crispy and whatever. If you do them at very low heat and do it for them 30 minutes and don't get them brown, perhaps put a bit of water in halfway through, then you end up with very sweet onions, which are great on things like if you're doing pretzel bread with extra toppings and stuff. Yeah, they're very sweet then. So hot and fast, you get caramelised and that taste, and then you do it long and slow with a bit of water, you get the sweet onions. Yeah. So we'll just keep them at a gentle simmer. The bacon's looking good. Sometimes it's cheap bacon has loads of water in it, but we didn't seem to have too much this today, interestingly. We'll evaporate it off anyway. Right, I'm going to stop the filming because I've only got 16mm and it's a short roll. And then we'll be back for putting the peppers in a minute. Or should I keep going and just drink more? I'll just drink more and keep going. Oh, I'm like a triathlete. Cheers. Yeah, to be honest, I do actually do so much exercise and get rid of so much energy that last week I didn't get athlete's foot, I got triathlete's foot. That's how much exercise I do. I am Bobby Ball. Yeah. Or Sid Little. I'll never meet the giddy heights of Eric Morecambe there. But I was definitely Terry and June. She was a very poor straight man. Well, she's a woman for a start. And she was bisexual, apparently. I bet you didn't know that. Anyway, I'm just making things up just to fill the time in. Yeah, I think that's going to be cooked. Just an ancient caveman, yeah. He'd marvel at this, you know. Trying to sort of like make an omelette or an Eggs Benedict cross with a mammoth and two sticks that he rubbed together. Now, modern technology, it's amazing. We just take it all for granted. Okie dokie. Let's get those sweet bell peppers in. If you're in America, they're bell peppers. If you're in the rest of the civilized world, they are sweet peppers. Ooh, can you hear me gas going? That wind. Oh. I need to get my old windbreak out that we used on the beach at Woolacombe. Ooh. Actually, I need a knotted hanky on my head as well. It's so sunny outside. Oh. Has it blown me out? No. The peppers have cooled us down. Oh. Well, I'm going to get repetitive strain injury at this rate right now. Tell that to my wife and say, have you been wanking too much again? Because she's like that. She's a southerner. Yeah, they're uncouth, you know, Southerns. Not like us proper Northerners who are mind their P's and Q's. Now, oh, sizzle, sizzle. Oh, my dog's going outside. I better zoom on my GoPro. I'd zoom in on him. But mind you, I could just run out there with the actual tripod and stick it up his nose and say, look at that zoom. Ugh. I think he's pointing at me saying it looks so good. Is it good, Lemmy? Nod your head. Oh, he thinks it's good. Oh, is this a Brixton Academy or a Hammersmith Odeon? Oh, on Monsters of Rock at Castle Donington. This is a Monsters of Rock at Castle Donington type breakfast. I've got a funny story about waking up actually at Castle Donington Monsters of Rock. It was early in the morning and it was raining and we didn't have anywhere to sleep apart from in the field. So somebody had a big plastic cover that we all slept under on the ground with a plastic cover over us, and it rained all night. We were all wet in the morning, and I got some breakfast, the classic English bacon and eggs and whatever, and I was about to do it on my very wet wood. So I set it up and I started to go, and actually I started off under the night under this plastic cover on my own, and when I woke up in the morning there was a Welshman next to me, which is the sort of thing that happens at these rock concerts when you're young and free and easy. Oh, so he said hello, or boil, or whatever the Welsh say. Oh, no, he said. Anyway, we got up and I said, I'm going to make breakfast. I can do this, which was a bit optimistic considering how wet it was. He goes, oh, that's fantastic. And he was really hungry, obviously, because he'd been on beer and drugs all the night before, so he got a bit peckish. So he said, I'll give you some drugs if you give me half your breakfast. I said, don't worry about the drugs. I'll just cook your breakfast. And I cooked him the breakfast. It wasn't the world's best cooked breakfast ever, but I did manage to get the fire going slowly. Yeah, good times they were. It was alright. It was just bacon and eggs basically. I don't think did we have sausage? Did I give that Welshman some sausage? I'm not sure, but he was happy as Larry, and he kept all his drugs, which was good. I do partake in drugs, but not during a cooked breakfast, obviously. I prefer the beer. Anyway, that's another story. This is cooked. I'm going to stop now because I'm on 56%. I've been yapping on too long, and we're going to the next stage. Right. About to put the contents of my pan onto the bread, onto the half-baked toast. Half-toasted toast. Otherwise it'd be half-baked bakes. Can you have bakes? No. Anyway, I digress. So this side needs some cheese on, so it hopefully that stuff. Let's move it over a bit and get centre of attention. Oh, such a sloppy apron. Let's throw that out for the birds. Never give your dog onions, it kills them or something. Right. Oh, I mean, is that a perfect fit or what? Oh, let's go for 2 slices. Oh, hold on, this is like a new game I've invented. Match up the holes. There we go. Not perfect match on the holes. It's like Operation, the game from MB. Let's try to see if we can do the same on this one. Can we match up the holes? I should do this blindfolded. Oh, I better do this on the tour. But do you do this on the tour bus, Lemmy? Blindfolded. Hold on a second. Don't. Oh, that's a perfect one. Right, so that's going to stick all their stuff on. Hopefully, he says optimistically. The effects of the beer are happening, so this might be a bit sloppy. Ooh, there's quite a lot of bacon on that one. Ooh. I'm gonna have to try and get 2 eggs to sit on top of this. So I need to squash it down a bit. I'm not quite sure that's going to be possible. Right, hold on a sec. This might be a bit not good to watch at. I need to press that in to make a flat base. I need another piece of toast just to squish it in. Oh, get in there. It's still got a bit of a hummock in the middle. That one else especially. Oh dear. I'm going to have to do it manually and sort of like tweak it out to the sides. I'm having doubts about how these eggs will sit on here and go in the oven. It's going to be a disaster. I'm going to have another drink and just like chuck the egg in before he went through the sound barrier. Oh. He probably had a bendy wendy. We've got a bit left over bacon. How's it taste? Goody. I'll put all this back on here, on this one. And my intrepid dog Whisper will have bits of bacon without any onion in it, because onion's bad for dogs. He'll love that in a minute. There's not as much as he wants, but then again, whenever is it enough? Yeah, I can see this is going to be a disaster actually in a minute. I'm going to have to I'm going to plan how I'm going to get it into the actual oven tray. Well, before I cook the eggs, I think. Back later. Okay, back again. We've got the erection, please. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I got the eggs doing. I managed to put that onto the toast. Now the question is, do I just the easy bit will be just to put one egg in the middle. The hard bit was going for 2 eggs, and then it might all fall off. Lemmy, what do you think? Does that mean 2? 2 eggs each? Oh, I need to get some inspiration. I might try and find a Motorhead track that gives me inspiration for how many eggs I should put on. But they're now cooking away, as you can see, in my pan that you can't get the top off, unless you've got a screwdriver. I'll slightly undercook these because I'm going to put them in the oven, which is now warming up down there, for grilling off at the end. Oh, wish me luck. Normally I'm more drunk than this, so I'm full of confidence, but I've got my doubts about this one. I did manage to get the stuff on there, but it's looking, yeah, it might all end up on the floor at this rate. But then Whisper the dog will like it. Oh, I heard his colour going. He heard the word whisper and he smells food. Right. Oh, he did it again. Let's continue with this. I'll be back later. We're trying to put 2 or 1 eggs on there. Well, the rock and roll gods have decided, overkill by Motorhead. It's going to be 2 eggs on each one. Wish me luck. I knew it wouldn't come out, bastard. I'll come back, you. You can stay there. My God, it's holding together. It's going everywhere. I'm gonna put a bit of cheese on top to hold it together. Whew, well done. I need to have a dip in the middle. Oh, the first good one. All right, practice makes perfect. these bits that are falling off, of course. Now, into the oven. Gas mark 77. Oh, I need a beer after all that. What do you think, Lemmy? Yeah, yeah. Alright. You tell me the piece of punch. Well done, Lemmy. Now into the oven and let's serve up. Let's roll. We need a 10-minute drum solo. How cool is that? Very cool. Right, let's cut into it and see if it's still soft inside. Which I once said on my honeymoon night. Almost. Oh, it is running. Slightly overcooked eggs. They're all right though. Excellent. There's some pepper. For the Instagram that I don't have. Baby, I don't want to live forever. Woo. So that was Lemmy's version. Let me bring the main man into shot. Lemmy, your version of Eggs Benedict crossed with Denver Omelet. Looking fan-bloody-tastic. Oh, no, nice and full. Right, another mission complete. We're going to go bigger and better.